I guess, well, okay, I play club lacrosse, and we haven't had a single practice all February because we haven't scheduled the turf for it. But it's kind of frustrating to see when no one's using it, and like out of season varsity sports like women's and men's soccer and like football who don't play until the fall get precedent over us, and then we have like 2 games where we don't get any practice before them. And I wonder like what can you do to like maybe change the scheduling or like allocate resources so we could like use more of that, or maybe get like other funding to use other fields, or I guess like both tickets.
Well, I myself am also a club sport athlete. I play for the Ultimate Frisbee team, and I hear you. I hear you entirely. I believe steps are starting to be made in the direction of working more closely with the athletic department and trying to figure out a better system in terms of getting that field space. And that's something I'm really passionate about. I'm very passionate about playing Frisbee, and I think getting those club sports, A, more funding, that's going to help, but B, more respect in terms of like being able to use the facilities that we have, because they're not just for, granted, they are for varsity athletes, but club sport athletes should be able to use those pretty equally as well. And especially with turf time, I agree. I think that should be a number one priority, is making sure that's scheduled and making sure club sports who are in season get priority potentially over varsity sports that are out of season and maybe not even using the field for what they need to.
Surprise, we agree. We think club sports need more resources available to them. So first of all, just to clarify, we have been granted by the university's budget task force an increase of $5 per student, just to be allocated to club sports. So that'll be about $16,800 that we're going to give our club sports, so they can pay their coaches more, so they can buy gear, so they can pay league fees, so they can go on trips more. So that'll help our students not suffer the financial burden. In terms of practice space, I've been talking with some of the club sports coaches and some of the club sports members. And the best compromise that we've sort of come to so far is that we can propose that we have club sports playing on fields right after the varsity teams are done. So like in the winter, right after the football season's over, we can open that field up and then stop sometime after the new year, so that the field still has the time to regenerate from being trodden upon, for the whole semester. That's, I think, one of the biggest concerns of the administration, is keeping our facilities in shape. And so the best way to do that is to gradually work and get club sports field time right after the varsity teams, and then we can grow them. Our rugby and lacrosse and frisbee are some of the fastest growing sports in America at colleges, and we want to help foster these clubs as they succeed. And they're already competing nationally at the D3 level with, against teams that have gotten funding from athletic departments, where our athletic department doesn't support our club sports. So we're going to do everything we can to support our club sports across the board.
Yes, and also both Scott and I know exactly what the root of the problem is. We just need to be able to make sure that we have a conversation with all the faculty members of sports, and we need to make sure that the person who is handling the calendar, the field's calendar and such, knows exactly what he or she is doing. Just because we need to make sure that the person doesn't have any conflict of interest, or is going to be equitable with both club sports and varsity sports. We just want to have that candid conversation with faculty to make sure that that is the case. Thank you.
Thanks.